Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to another Boogiezone community class where, as you know, we are not concerned about how many followers you have. It's all about bridging the gap and introducing you to the next generation's leaders. Tonight, we had Miss Fundamentalist, Logan Logistx, dropping knowledge with all of this foundation. It was, I gotta say, I feel like the kids were kind of like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was like, it's breaking. These are like actual breaking beats. It's so great. But yeah, Miss Logan Logistx. So she was the 2017 Silverback, what was it? B-Girl champion.
2018?
2018. Not 2008. Did I say 2008?
You said 2017.
2017. 2018. Yeah, sorry. It's a long day.
Yeah.
Long day. And she was also part of the lab, season 2 World of Dance. Jennifer Lopez's World of Dance champion with the lab. First off, thank you very, very much for coming and sharing your knowledge and your energy. First thing I have to ask is, where exactly did you get your foundation and who taught you the foundation? What is it?
So I started at Culture Shock San Diego. That's where I really learned a lot of my foundation.
Okay.
I started, that's where I started breaking, and I started choreo. And I was taking like all the foundation classes, like house, popping. I was just trying everything.
Yeah.
And then they also had urban too. So I was just like really just trying as many styles as I could. But the ones that spoke to me were breaking and urban. So yeah, that's where I started, and eventually I moved up to LA, and that's where I met Showtime, and he really helped me get my hip hop foundation.
Okay.
And at the time I didn't even know that hip hop was like a style of its own. Because, you know, I was just learning like the 4 elements of hip hop and the funk styles and like breaking, but then I was able to learn and dive into hip hop dance, which is, you know, the bounce and all of that stuff. And yeah, so I've been training a lot of that recently.
Okay. Okay. So how long have you actually been dancing?
Almost 8 years. Yeah.
8 years. 8 years of just dancing, or 8 years as a professional dancer? What would you call it?
Oh, no, definitely not all professional. Professional, maybe 5.
That's still a nice amount of time.
Maybe 5
Still a very, very nice amount of time. 5 years as a professional dancer.
Yeah, it was, because we moved to LA 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then that was where I really was like taking dance seriously, and that's like around the time where I joined the lab.
Yeah. And
was doing stuff with my agency and doing auditions and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So with the lab, your experience on World of Dance was pretty much documented, and for the most part we saw, well, for me, it was reminiscent, but it was also very much so refreshing to see, again, like a young group of dancers with foundations. So what I want to ask is, with the lab, who was the driving force behind that? Who was the creative director there?
The creative director of the lab is Valerie Ramirez. Yeah, so her and Carrie Calkins created the lab.
Okay.
And they opened up the studio, I forgot what year, so I'm not going to say anything. They opened up the studio, and from there kids have just been coming in, and then I joined, I think 3 or 4 years ago. Okay. Yeah, and it's a, you know, normal hip-hop dance studio where they just have a bunch of classes. They have tumbling classes, they have like a weight room, and so then they started doing, like, they started competing. Yeah. And then we did season 1 of World of Dance. I made it to week 3. And then did season 2 and then ended up winning the show.
Yeah.
But I feel like, oh, also throughout the show, Dietrich's, for season 2, Dietrich's came in and helped us for a majority of the routines.
Okay.
Yeah.
At your age right now, you've actually seen a fair amount of competition. So which of the competitions that you've been in would you say has been the most impactful in your development as a dancer?
Ooh, okay. I feel like the battle scene is extremely impactful and has helped me develop myself as a dancer and as a person, because the thing about the battle scene is it's so real, and it's like you can't fake anything, and it's like everyone at a jam will just be there going for it, whether they have 1 year of experience, 1 month of experience, or 8 years of experience. So that's what I love about battling is, it's a game of respect, really.
Yeah.
Because you can't fake anything, and you'll get props for like you will earn your props, and there's like no easy props. I think it's Asia One who says no easy props. So you have to earn it.
Yeah.
And even for me, being a girl and a kid in the scene, it wasn't easy to get that title at Silverback and to be competing at that caliber. So that's really helped me, and it's really pushed me and helped me learn what it takes to be respected. Yeah. Okay,
understood. So in that quest for respect, do you see yourself competing 5 years from now, 10 years from now, in the very same types of battles?
I would say, for me, like, the things that I'm doing, like battling, even just ciphering, teaching, even just taking class, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna stop dancing. I think battling right now is kind of like a time in my dance career where I'm really focusing on like breaking and battling. But I feel like, let's say maybe 5 years from now, I don't want to say that I'm gonna still be battling and breaking, but I could be battling in all styles, because I just don't know how my style as a dancer is gonna evolve. Exactly. And I don't want to limit it to like, oh, I'm gonna stay in this traditional breaking lane forever, because for me, it's like also about evolving as an artist too within dance. So it's like, who knows, my style could be so different 5 years from now, but it doesn't mean that I don't like battling anymore, and that's what all style battles are for, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop being active in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's really, like, that scene has given me so much and has taught me so much that I only have to support it, and I don't feel the need to like be active in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give other young dancers that are either just starting or they're trying to find their way in deciding whether or not they want a career in dance, or if they just want to continue to just do it as a hobby, or if they have bigger plans and plan on, taking over the internet, going viral, or anything like that, just getting themselves out there as dancers? What advice do you have for them?
I would say, first, I think take your time with figuring it out, and there's no rush, because I know sometimes, especially like with this generation and like Instagram and all these things and videos, and it's easy to be like, oh, I'm like 12 years old and I have to like be on a viral dance video and become famous. So it's like, I think really like explore all parts of dance, because like taking class and being in those videos it's not the only, that's not what dance is. That's just a small bubble of it. So know that that's not the only thing that is considered dance, and know that there are other things, and there are other worlds. There are other people who have contributed to dance to make that what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like really explore and be open-minded, and before you set your like really solidify a path, it's good to like be open-minded and try different things so that you know exactly like, oh, this is what I like, this is what I like, this is what I like. Or even just, oh, I really like breaking, so I'm gonna go with breaking. Or I really like the urban dance community, I want to compete on gravy, or something like that. Just make sure you explore as many parts of dance as you can so that you know exactly like what you're enjoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we now come to the fun question.
Okay.
So the fun question for you tonight is, if your dance style had to be one of the sour variety of candies, meaning sour straws, what are they? The sour worms, Sour Patch Kids, Warheads, sour Skittles, any of those candies of the sour variety, which one of those candies is your dance style?
The ones that you named, or any? Sour?
Any.
This is hard. I haven't had those candies in a long time. Do Smarties count?
They're not really sour. Those are not really sour. They're just kind of like instant gratification and, yeah, these are delicious.
Oh, sour straws.
Sour straws?
Yeah, because it's like, it's a straw. It's like different from the other candy. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say.
Sour
That's
straws.
an interesting question.
Thank you very, very
Thank
much
you.
for joining us. Thank you for bringing a whole different element, especially at your age. And it was like a pure element.
Thank
and then
you.
the fact that you dance with Culture Shock, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Like, all of it is very, very much so rooted in there. Follow at Logistx. What is it? Logistx _
I don't. LOGISTX _
UGF. That, yeah. I put it on my Instagram.
Underground Flow.
Thing.
Oh, today's our 18th year anniversary for my crew.
18 year for who?
My crew, Underground Flow. Yeah,
Underground Flow's 18th,
dang.
well,
Legal.
18th anniversary.
UGF's legal.
Oh, follow also at Boogiezone. Follow at Boogiezone Utopia. Follow thecommunityclass.com. Hashtag this is where it's at. Hashtag the community classes. I am Philly Mo Really Though. We out.
Really?
Yeah.
Philly Mo Really Though?
Philly Mo Really Though.
Nice.
We out.